This week on PTL, we span the globe to check out the fate of our number one teams. We drop in on Phreak to buff your fantasy game, and we even sprinkle a little salt over in our last hit.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you having my back there.
Finally, somebody who actually appreciates my support.
Oh, of course, of course. So let's get this duo queue started, because Primetime League starts right now.
There it is! A few more kills for Doublelift on Ash! Is it the last shot? Doublelift gets a Penta kill!
Fnatic will take down Origin and hold on to first place, undefeated in the summer splits.
And WE have done it! They've taken the 2-0 against EDG!
Hello and welcome to Primetime League. I'm Rivington Bisson III along with Mr. David Phreak Turley, and we're here to take you on a deep dive into the pro-level League of Legends play.
And as we near the midway part for all the leagues, the competition will continue to heat up as teams hope to qualify for the all-important World Championship. It is less than 100 days away, and it's going to be here before you know it, Riv.
I kind of want to fast forward, but I guess we can watch all the games in between.
Also really fun.
Still going to be amazing. And we're actually starting things off today with some breaking news. Despite trying out Keith and releasing a video with him sporting a Team Solo Mid jacket, TSM will not be swapping out their AD carry Wild Turtle for Liquid's backup. In the spring, Turtle racked up his best stats ever, but this summer, he has been slipping.
Yeah, it has been a rough summer for Turtle overall, and if you look at Keith's performance from the spring split versus Wild Turtle's from this summer, you can see that the statistical difference is actually pretty massive, and Keith looks a whole hell of a lot better, but it looks like we will have to wait for Keith's TSM debut.
It will be interesting to see, and while we wait for Keith's Team Solo Mid debut, let's jump into the biggest games from last week's European LCS, and there are none bigger than the BF game of the week, as Peke and second place Origin look to upset Fnatic and hand them their first loss of the split, and man, did they try.
It was a great match. 6-0 versus 5-1, certainly a close one, but right here, Huni continued to show that he is just really good at top lane echo.
Yeah, early in the game, he had pressure on him. It didn't really matter. He's Huni. Let me chrono break back. We're all safe. Everything's good.
And I love the fact that Raynor was playing a whole bunch of Olaf now this week as well. And this is going to be a very tense one. The Baron attempt here. And even though all those mites get missed, Huni can do no wrong. He'll even secure Baron for his team. And this means cleanup's going to happen afterwards.
Secures it, gets two more for himself as well throughout the fight. And like you said, the Olaf pick also coming up big, really facilitating a lot for the team. And Origin just didn't know which way to turn.
I mean, they weren't tanky enough for them to really survive anything. So Fnatic just being ahead in gold means they can kind of just be super aggressive and kill the squishies in time. There you can see, like, okay, they actually got the kill on the Huni. Like, this is what could have happened if the gold were anything close at all. But Origin getting heavily outskilled. Great individual performances by pretty much everyone on Fnatic. Reckless, the best scoreline of everyone there, but it was flashier from everyone else in the team.
A fantastic game from him. 8-0-9, you can see 351 CS. And when you combine Fnatic's win over Origin with their victory over the Copenhagen Wolves on Friday, Fnatic are now standing at 8-0, which means they are poised to break the EU LCS record of 9 consecutive wins.
It's a record that Fnatic have continued to hold and almost break since the 2013 spring split. It certainly won't be easy for them this time around. They're going to be facing H2K at 7-1 on Thursday, and then they also play Gambit. And even though Gambit's not the best team right now, Fnatic keeps losing their win streak to Gambit anyway, so like history says Gambit's going to show up out of nowhere and knock him down regardless, so you never know.
We'll see what happens. But before Fnatic can even think about Gambit and 10 wins in a row, they have to get past a very tough H2K Gaming. Last week, H2K showed their form as they looked to jump over Origin into second place when they took on the surprising Giants.
And Giants actually have had a pretty good split for themselves. It's made this match much closer than you would have expected from the spring split. But it starts out with H2K making a lot of good plays. The 4v3 under the turret, a lot of good flash engages, and that always gives first blood to the H2K AD carry.
Gotta love when you're always the team on the up and up in the lane swaps and you have 4 people there first. And H2K,
this is crazy. That pulverize is stupid good. The early headbutt just to buy some time. But timing the pulverize is really, really hard. But impressive stuff right there. Odwamna gets the kill, 3-0 H2K, off to a sizable lead only 7 minutes in. That guy on your screen is already a candidate for MVP of the summer split. He's so good. Another engage for Kasing, tank the turret, kill the turret.
Kasing, bada bing, coming in, takes down Frederick, can't get the Agony's Embrace off to even help his team. And look at Odwamna in the back here. He's like, don't worry guys, I'm just controlling 4 of the enemy team.
He dies for it, but you know, it's enough time bought. 20 kills to 5. Yeah, I'm going to say when you win the game in 30 minutes flat, it's, pretty damn good. So H2K, crushing victory, 7-1 for them. Absolutely a strong team.
Absolutely, Phreak. And that victory put H2K in sole control of second place with 7 wins and 1 loss. But what's even more impressive is their performance ever since Kasing joined the team back in week 4 of the spring split.
Absolutely. This guy's been nothing but incredible for the roster. Back then, they were 2-4. They were in 7th place. This was a very mediocre team at best. But once Kasing went on board, everything just changed for these guys. Not only did his presence on the team raise the entire team just dramatically skill-wise, but he also lifted H2K to an 85% win rate ever since he joined that team for the last 2 splits. It's the best in the league. It's the best in 2015. And this team is now looking incredible.
Yeah, and despite that impressive graphic, it's still Fnatic who sits at the top of the table, so you got to get those guys.
Yeah, sure, they are, of course, incredibly good as well, but after that, Origin is the only other team really threatening the top of the table. Most of the other squads are locked into ties for 4th or 7th place.
And we've locked in a new face to add some European insight to this week's PTL as we welcome our favorite Belgian former pro player to PrimeTime. And even though he's only been behind the ULCS broadcast desk for 4 weeks, he's already shown us that his shoutcaster abilities might be as tight as his support skills.
Yeah, TLDR, the Wolves done goofed in the early game. Hooney Potter, the boy who lived. H2K make the Giants look small, and they're looking for the final push here on the Nexus.
Man, we're going to have quite a bit of Krepoisms by the end of the split. So, actually, let's give a warm welcome now to Mitch Krepo of Vorspools. How's it going, Krepo?
It's going great, Riv. I'm just ready and anxious to cast another week of EULCS with, in particular, H2K against Fnatic.
There are going to be some great games. So we've been talking about the success of H2K. In fact, what are the factors that made them a top-tier team?
Yeah, we sat together this week with the broadcast team and tried to really pinpoint why H2K was amongst those top teams. And we found 3 different instances, 3 different occasions to show why they're such a good team. Initially, we look at their carries. They have a triple threat composition. Both Oduwamne, Rio, and Hjarnan can all come out and do a lot of damage. Rio with a little more in a utility type of role, but it fits for H2K. So supplementing that, we have Kasing and Lulex, the jungler and support buddy system. They always roam together, go around the map, get those wars up, get that map control. And this, combined with their superior shot calling, leads in such a big advantage often early for H2K, and they just snowball and drive it home. And then at 20 minutes, they're often already knocking at inhibitors. Just fantastic map plays by H2K overall.
Yeah, with the fundamentals locked down for that team, it seems like they can really go outside the box, and it's been working for them. So right now, they are number 2, and sandwiched between Fnatic and Origin. What sets those 3 teams apart from the rest of the pack?
Honestly, the three points hold true for all these teams. Fnatic and Origin as well. They have 3 carries, they have a good jungler support buddy system, and they have good shot calling. I would argue that Origin's shot calling is just a little further down on the ranking, but they still have a clear distinction from the top 3 teams, which are Origin, H2K, and Fnatic on top, compared to the bottom 7 teams. And they'll have to work hard if they want to challenge any of these top 3 teams in playoffs or later on in the race for Worlds.
All right, Krepo, thanks for taking the time to join us, and we'll see you on the European LCS.
Thanks, Riv.
Now let's swing the microphones the other direction and listen into what the pros say when the pressure is on. It's time for Mic Check.
Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi, Brad. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hey, listen.
Jojo, what are we eating tonight?
Chipotle.
Chipotle? Alright. Is that if we win?
Yeah.
If we win. If we win, we get Chipotle?
Yeah.
And if we lose?
Chipotle. Chipotle.
Okay.
Our camera is on you, Rio. Look.
Yeah.
Look up. Look up. Look up. Look up.
Yeah,
Look up. Look up. Look up. Look up. Look up. Look up.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
We're playing League of Legends.
Please get in the lobby for me. Oh, my CS. I lost my CS. I lost my cannon.
Shame.
Shut up, go Baron.
Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up.
Oh
shut
my
up. Just shut
Look
up.
at the Lulex.
Can you please give me pentakill?
No, shut up.
H2K.
Didn't mean to make your daughter cry. I apologize a million times.
Can you give me assist?
Oh,
Can you give me assist? I want 100% cook.
I interrupted him, okay? I interrupted the back, okay?
What are we doing?
I interrupted back. Go. I interrupted back.
Come on, flash. Nice.
Okay, I'm
Oh
pushing.
shit.
Chazon.
Back up. I can peel for you. I'm peel for you. Come. Yes!
Nice.
Hey, pound it.
Take a look at this. Holy moly. The fucking throttle mechanics is in the house.
Ult in.
No, just talk us.
Chase.
I tell you closer, okay?
Chase.
And then.
Just end. I got it.
He's done.
He's in.
I got him.
Let's go. Over.
Oh, no, Silver. She's slow.
Echo. We're fine. Penta.
Get him. Steal it. Fucking steal it. I mean, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know, Zion. I thought you were a good top laner, but you couldn't even steal the Penta kill. Why do I even believe in you anymore?
I do like that the cheering from COG was mostly steal the Penta rather than give Doublelift the Penta, though.
And on the same vein, H2K cheered louder for TSM than their own team, so I'm glad everyone's priorities in the right spot, and A greater than EU. Either way, let's shift over to China. Let's talk about Edward Gaming. They look to turn it around after losing their first series of the split last week.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, though, and unfortunately for EDG fans, they'd have to try and turn it around without Pawn as they faced third place QG.
Well, the cool thing is it started pretty well. So QV's under his turret. That's cool. QGV, Koro's here, Clearlove's here, red buff's on, bunch of knockups, and a really nicely timed ulti by Koro kills him before the fear even lands. So,
yeah, Swift on the way, coming down the lane, but way too slow for that one for the counter gank. Look at this team fight, though. The kiting on low health for EDG.
Yeah, the first pick Rise as well from Bamey. Definitely working out quite nicely. Like, they're trying to get the kills. TNT, nope, can't quite do it. Deft, massive cleanup. He's got a red buff here. Chasing down V, and red buff kills him.
Protect the Jinx, and she shall carry you. Deft, on his very, very famous Jinx, gets another victory.
Absolutely great here. You can see the scoreboard up on the screen. Overall, though, it was really close up until the last couple of team fights. Definitely back and forth game. QG, of course, the #2 power ranked team in China for a reason. Doinb getting jumped on as well, and a good start for Edward Gaming here, getting the victor and assist.
All right, so Bamey, you're in, and Bamey, you get some attention. 3 people gank mid. Look at this Baron fight, though. Swift gets caught really early, and Deft fights everyone off.
That's really impressive, though, the fact that he knew he wasn't going to get caught out afterwards, just getting the damage output. So Baron buff on Edward Gaming, tied in gold. Hardcore dive, though, and Deft, despite all his mechanics, can't survive it.
QG make a team of all deep diving champions. Speaking of that very famous Jinx for Deft, they take him out pretty quickly here, and just that team fight this late in the game, they're going to be able to run it all the way back.
It's so funny. All they do is ignore the tanks, just walk past Koro, walk past Clearlove, and kill the backliners first. That's going to be the game, despite the Baron, despite having a goal lead for a bit. Goes 1-1, so of course an impressive game over there. Now after that series, Edward Gaming hoping to regain their form against a winless Team WE. We saw that last week when they played against Unlimited Potential, and yeah, it's a similar story.
Oh yeah, all right, well, let's start out with the first game here. WE, Spirit is gonna move down, and they'll target Koro early. Aluka on the top lane Nautilus, becoming a thing. He did start out well.
He did start out well, 3-2 in kills. Edward Gaming still with a gold lead here, but more hard dives. Bamey with barrier on, doesn't matter. Mystic, nice snipe.
All right, so that is going to continue well for them. Let's take a look at the river fight there, though. Now they've got Aluka on the run. Deft is going to chase them down with Sivir, speed boost, pick up some kills for EDG.
Yeah, very impressive stuff. I mean, again, like, despite the fact that you're seeing a kill score on one side, just the Edward Gaming map control gives them a gold lead. They're up 4,000 after that one. This is still a team that's supposed to be very good. 8,000 up now, going for the hardcore push, but look at that by Spirit.
Spirit, once again, just gonna come in, flash, body slam, knock them all different directions, and the team cleans up. So WE, off of a great play from Spirit, gonna be able to take control.
Yeah, Jinx Victor, great team fight power. You disrupt the targets enough, and you just have the damage output to follow through, not getting assassinated like we saw in the QV game a little while ago. Let's move on to game 2, though. WE took game 1, that's fine. Let's go again.
That's fine. I mean, this is the last place versus first place here. Big upset. Aluka, he's targeted. Sion, his main champion, they're able to take him down on that one. This time around, though, the Nautilus went over to support role, and Conan played pretty well as well.
And once again, the Mystic on this Jinx getting untouched to the front line. I haven't seen a Sion top in a long time, but it's certainly working here. No one's getting onto the Jinx. A nice ulti snipe as well. 3 kills in that one for Mystic.
All right, so they are able to gain control of the dragon after that as well. Aluka back on his first love.
Yeah, still an incredibly close game, only 1,000 apart. And Deft going hard. Oh, he gets sniped though by the zap. And that means WE can go for the chase. Bamey trying to be crazy. He's gonna back off for now.
Yep, here comes the pain train. Aluka's able to hit him dead on, and Spirits gets there to capitalize. Mystic really racking up the kills in that game.
So 2-0 for WE, definitely an upset for Edward, and they have one more chance now. Okay, this week they also played OMG, one of the better teams in China. Maybe this time around they can do okay. Uzi and crew, you know, they were 0-2 against LGD. They're kind of on a downswing as well. So Edward Gaming, now's your chance to strike.
Yep, all right, so they're gonna start off in the top lane here. Amazing gets targeted. Here come flashes aplenty, hooks all over the place, and he goes down.
All right, Clearlove 2-0 to start the game out. He's got both the kills on his team. He's set up to carry, make a whole lot of ganks happen. Bamey also gets his Azir in the battle with Cool. Nice flash ulti to make this fight happen.
Oh yeah, knock back into knock up. Cool, running for his life down the river, lasers out the back, and he gets chased down.
Tries to soldier on, but the soldiers get the better of him. So still a good start. 11-10 and kills 5 dragons on for this one. 41 minutes into the fight. Should be a good fight for Edward Gaming.
Yeah, a really big gold lead and objective lead here for EDG. Picking up kills all over the place. Bamey's able to jump the wall with his Azir all the way up, and they take home the victory.
So Bamey, you know, doing pretty well. The replacement for Pawn at this time. And okay, game 1 looked pretty good. Objective control was nice. And somehow Edward Gaming let Rise go to second pick blue side. Gets picked up for the top laner, and that's always scary.
All right, well, let's see if it comes back to bite them. Amazing. Gonna pop the Alistar ultimate, try and survive as long as he can. Cool gets taken down, focused pretty early as well, and Uzi's on the run.
All right, looks really good. Edward Gaming, Defts on Corki, trying to chase people down. Uzi's forced to flash away. The rockets from super long range.
That will be 10-4. Look how deep he is inside the base. Deft is gonna go through double turrets, make that 11-4. What a huge lead for EDG.
12,000 gold, but a big front line. And here we go. Deft. He did it last time. He wants Uzi.
You know what?
Uzi.
They're so far ahead. You can Valkyrie forward. No, OMG will make you pay for it.
And cleanup crew, Graves, Rise, Azir. Okay, well, Azir's dead, but, you know, Cassio, Graves, Rise, yeah. A lot of cleanup damage, and that was a potentially really big throw. 5 kills down, 7,000 gold down. OMG actually get the win anyway. Edward Gaming, an unfortunate loss. So with that, the MSI champs finished the week with 2 wins and 4 losses. What exactly is going on with Edward Gaming? Honestly, luckily, LPL English language caster Julian Pacey-Time Carr is going to tell us what's up. What's up, man?
Hey, nothing much, and thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. So, yeah, what is up with China's super team, man? EDG has still managed to hold on to first place, but man, have they been looking shaky in recent games. So we just look back to 2 weeks ago, losing 2-0 to Unlimited Potential, which was a super, super surprising upset. To be honest, that series, and this would be a theme through EDG's recent losses, was just they kind of got outdrafted and just put themselves in the weird spots or silly spots in the game where they let themselves get outclassed. That first game against UP, pretty much tried to win late and then just lost early, and then it was the reverse in the second game there. So their whole series long, EDG just didn't quite play around their points of power and just sort of ran into trouble in situations where UP, who team fought very, very well to actually win the game despite clearly being mechanically outclassed, will manage to win the game. Moving to the next series, okay, playing against QG, absolutely smashed them in the first game, like not even close, 30-minute game. And then the game comes around and QG say, you know what, we're pretty sure we can beat you. When they turn around and they just bop EDG to split this series. Now, that's not that surprising, to be honest, because QG are a very strong team, and you'd expect them to take at least a game off a side like EDG, especially because EDG kind of already gave themselves the convincing win, so that's not too bad. But still, you know, EDG losing, this is not something we're used to seeing in the LPL. And then they play World Elite, and it's hilarious that they play a team like World Elite, because World Elite were the team that took them to 5 games in playoffs when they couldn't play Pawn, and they're looking great, EDG. They're going in. They're almost there. It's 40 minutes into the game. They have an absolutely ridiculous lead between 8 and 10,000 gold. And Spirit gets the sickest flash body slam onto 3 people. And Deft, who's already used his spell shield trying to block the Gragas engage, just gets wrecked by the ensuing ulti. What a lead, showing that they can really teamfight when Spirit steps up. And Aluka, he had a ridiculous series. And then for the second game, honestly, it just felt like EDG didn't know what was going on, because World Elite kind of threw them for a loop, smashing them despite the gold deficit. And then World Elite were able to take the series 2-0, demonstrating that they are actually a very good team when they play at their best. So yeah, that's a bunch of different losses. That's 5 losses in 6 games for EDG, which is super, super rare, especially against the likes of WE or UP. But I guess a little bit more, again, they kind of played shaky. Some of their drafts have been off. Koro, who hasn't been playing every game, but it's been playing most of them. Actually been playing quite poorly for a top laner of his caliber. His teleports have been noticeably weak, and EDG's team fight and synergy is just not quite there. They've also been playing Bamey a lot, their Korean mid laner who's subbing in for Pawn, and they don't have the same carry potential or playmaking potential, despite the fact that Bamey is clearly a very good laner. And when Korra's not teleporting or playmaking well, Clearlove doesn't have anyone to back him up, and Pawn's not there as another carry, Deft and Mako, who are playing very well, Mako especially, can only do so much work. So I think EDG, they're adjusting to the meta. They don't really have an Echo player apart from Pawn, and he's not playing. Ryze is the thing that keeps getting banned away, and Koro might be struggling given how much more diversity we've been seeing on 5.10 and 5.11. And it feels like they're trying a couple new things as well. So there's a lot going on for EDG. They've shown lots of weakness, but I feel like they're just trying to expand and adjust at a decent point in the season where they've still got a good lead and they can still make it up. EDG to me feel like it seems they're really preparing for the end of the year towards Worlds rather than worrying about smashing everyone in the LPL like they did in Spring. So it's been weird to see them lose, especially against the teams that they've been losing to. But if Spring wasn't exciting enough, summer LPLs look absolutely awesome.
Thank you very much, PrimeTime. And guys, you can see if EDG can turn it around when they face LGD this Friday. But first, let's take a look at the LPL standings, where, despite that shaky week, Edward Gaming still controls the table with 18 points in first.
But the race for first place is closer than ever, as QG and Invictus could overtake Edward if their struggles continue.
So while EDG fights to stay at the top of the standings in China, the Flash Wolves continue to try and claw their way back to the top of the table in the LMS. After taking down Maki Esports 2-0 in the beginning of the week, their next match was against the Taipei Assassins, who are also looking to climb and also using a new jungler Refrain, who they had just gotten from the Flash Wolves. However, this one starts in the top lane. Maple and Steak, you never thought would be a great composition together, but these guys make it work. Add a little bit of Smite on Karsa, you got yourself a pretty good dish. Stakes TP's in from the backline more than once this game, closing the gap with Home Guard. Righteous Glory saved here so they can still initiate on the fight if necessary, but TPA finally disengages one of them, already down 8-3 in the start of the game. Refrain not working out too well for the team. Going to ward, whoever wards alone dies alone. The team can't even help them get out of that one. You can see where Flash Wolves just starts to pick up all of their advantages, all of their leads, and again, another TP from Stake to the back line just behind the red buff, gets around and is able to rout Lupin, taking them down very handily in the first game. Flash Wolves feeling good as they entered into game 2. Just about 8,000 gold lead as they took the victory on that one. Stake with the assists all around, being the facilitator at 0-0-12 that game on the Maokai. This one starts off 2 minutes, 40 seconds in. How about 4 guys towards the mid lane? Sword Art doesn't even really need to be there. He's there for kind of range experience. They take down mid lane and they still keep going. You can see how this one plays out. Flash Wolves, it's a 2v1 situation. You think you're going to see Maple go down, but he's able to take out 2 members of TPA, and that's kind of the way the cookie crumbled the whole game long. The sub wasn't working in Refrain. There's not much they could do, and Maple continued to outplay. A solo kill here at 30 minutes really just put Flash Wolves inside the base of TPA eventually. They could not hold the game. Eventually, you see the gold, 60 to 40K there in the end. Not much you can do as it rolls around that much. And as you saw in the highlights, TPA is running that new jungler with former Flash Wolves sub Refrain taking over for Domo before the match. Domo has been struggling in games recently, so enter Refrain. Unfortunately, Refrain was not able to change TPA's tune, putting up a 0.3 KDA with no kills and 9 deaths and 2 losses to his former squad. As TPA tries to climb out of 7th place, let's take a look at the rest of the LMS standings. AHQ continues to dominate, but this morning Maki handed them their first regular season loss since week 7 of the spring split. That series ended in a tie, but it proved that AHQ isn't completely bulletproof. However, the Flash Wolves are the only team that can possibly challenge AHQ, and they are 5 points back in the table.
So while AHQ continues to own the LMS, we wanted you to put your tweets behind another first place team and give us some imaginary scenarios for a certain legendary mid laner. Last week we asked you which champion would you like to see Faker play and why, and you responded with some fantastic answers, but one in particular really caught our eye. At Mwad Agras said Faker doesn't need to play a champion in the mid lane. He's too good. He can go Scuttle Crab mid and still 1v9. Well, Rivershen could be very good at him after all. That made us lol enough to put you into the Hall of Fame, so it is with much pomp and circumstance that we welcome him into the fold. But that's not all. For managing the tweet despite being injured, we are also going to add Doublelift to this hollowed hall. Now, first, after nearly losing a finger while playing basketball, he sent out before and after pictures that really underscore the dangers of going outside. Unfortunately, he learned the hard way. I've already known this one. But he didn't stop there. After 2 full days of LCS action, 16 kills, a Penta kill, he apologized to people who had taken him out of the fantasy lineups. And even after all that, he still managed to share a Tinder moment with Aframu. Well done, sir. Those are some mighty impressive digits you have there. All right, now let's turn to this week's Twitter question. Earlier, we talked about Fnatic's win streak. And this week, we want to know which team will snap Fnatic's current win streak. And for a shot in the Hall of Fame, how many total kills will that opponent have against Fnatic? Now, that loss might not come this week, but tell us your answers. Send them to @Esports, tag them #PTL, and when Fnatic finally does win, well, we're going to hear what you had to say about it. All right, so while that picture of Aframu was adorable, it wasn't nearly as sweet as his LCS milestone this week. Aframu joined a very small club of LCS pros who have accrued 1,000 assists or more during their career. And that is an impressive list, especially at the top with 1,360. And while not as bloody as Doublelift's finger, here are the players who have the most kills. Bjergsen leads the LCS with 700. He crossed that barrier last week, actually. Wild Turtle passed 600. A lot of cool stuff here. Now, of course, you also can't have kills without people dying, and while Yellowstar might be getting a ton of assists, he also has a lot of deaths, 490 deaths over his career. It's not something to be incredibly proud of, but he might hit 500 this week, so that's kind of cool. Finally, we thought we'd keep the Doublelift hype going and let you guys know that he'll be joining Froggen as the only other player to stack up more than 2 million gold in the LCS. He won't even have to kill a minion to do it. He'll get that 509 gold after like 18 seconds past the 130 mark when gold starts accruing in. So, congrats Doublelift. You can AFK and break yourself into a record.
Well, cha-ching. Can you share a spare dime there? Help a brother out, right? So while Doublelift prepares to cross the 2 million mark, let's take a look at the top of the North American table, which was set to change as we headed into week 4. CLG and Team Liquid were in a tie for first, both at 5-1.
Meanwhile, Gravity, Dignitas, and TSM found themselves in a 3-way tie for third.
But things would change as these teams clashed on the Rift throughout the weekend. First up was 4-2 Dignitas taking on the 3-3 Impulse, and this was basically coined the Gamsu Show.
Yeah, Gamsu had a pretty decent weekend, you could say.
Yeah, in general. Very nice plays from him. It was going to be the TF shifter for global presence here from Dignitas, but it was the Gamsu teleports that was really starting things off, and first blood for him to get things going.
Yeah, he got this race started very quick. First blood on the Hecarim, and he did not stop there.
Heading right through, parallel convergence through the entire team onto Apollo. Every time had his target. He might go down. He doesn't go down.
This was after Dignitas had just gotten beaten down to their secondary turret. But the comp they designed was all around the teleport from Shifter and the teleport from Gamsu. Those two guys combined to get them right back in it.
Over and over again, Apollo a little too far forward. Anywhere was enemy lines here outside the Team Impulse base.
More teleports. Kiwi Kid comes in to set it up, and another easy kill for Team Dignitas.
Definitely a difficult game for Tip to handle on that one, and Dig has just been showing up like crazy this season. And that win improved Dignitas to 5-2 and into sole control of third place. One win ahead of Team Solo Mid and Gravity for now. Because up next was Team Solo Mid, who looked to deal Team Liquid their second loss of the split and create a 3-way tie for second place.
But they had their work cut out for them. Team Liquid had a good start to the game. Quas takes down Lustboy in the top lane.
Very good start to the game. They gave Team Solo Mid a run for their money throughout this one. Even with Dyra stepping up lately, Quas, he's hard to get by.
Yep, they had a pretty good team fight comp here for Team Liquid. And they had a lot of control around Dragons early in the game. Piglet here trying to chase him down.
And something in this fight is kind of reminiscent of something that happens a lot, is focusing Lustboy. And it comes back to bite Team Liquid later.
Yeah, Special fails his flash out of the Dragon Pit and pays for it, but Dominate and Quas were able to combo ultimates to get some kills there.
Cutting down players on both sides, 10-8 here. You can see 40 minutes in a complete nail-biters. Bjergsen starts making the plays.
This is the fight that changed everything. Bjergsen comes in from the back, able to take out the back line of Team Liquid.
Piglet.
And TSM were able to finish off Piglet, take home the victory.
What an intense game, back and forth. Just something that Team Liquid could not handle, and Team Solo Mid seems to pick up in the end. TSM's victory shifted them up and Liquid down into a tie for second.
Plus, Gravity's victory over Team 8 moved them into that second place traffic jam.
That's right. That set up a second place showdown on Sunday afternoon between the 5-2 Team Solo Mid and the 5-2 Team Gravity, which started off in the mid lane because that's where the powerhouses were.
Yeah, another close game here for TSM. Keen was their early target, though. Low mobility on Urgot.
Auto attack.
No surprise there. Lustboy and Santorin coming in for the game.
And you know what? That trio stayed together. Once again, 1, 2, and 3. They're all here to participate in the kills. They had Keen's number this game.
Rough day for Keen. They had a lot of trouble, controlling the vision around the mid lane, but they were still fighting back.
Still, Keen trying to make plays, flashes over the wall. Bjergsen able to get the shift in and get himself to safety, and TSM able to clean up these fights. More facilitating from Lustboy with the Tibbers. 19-12 here. TSM definitely grabbing this one a little bit better than the Team Liquid matchup.
Yep. Gravity and Altec especially were doing everything they possibly could in that one. Not able to pull it out, though. Victory for TSM.
Still a close game. 5 gold at the end there for TSM in the lead. And that win from TSM leapfrogged them into sole control of second place with 6 wins, while Gravity dropped all the way down to 5th. That brings us to the final battle between the top of the table teams, featuring 5-2 Team Liquid versus the 5-2 Team Dignitas, with the winner joining Team Solo Mid in second place at the end of the week.
And Team Dignitas wastes no time. Helios plus Kiwi Kid up top to get Gamsu off to a great start. First blood.
Getting that roam on. Why not? Helios getting some help. Yeah, getting Gamsu going. Something they were doing all weekend long, and it worked.
Yes, it did. Team Liquid, though, they brought another team fight comp that said Sejuani Rumble, and they were able to get mid-game team fight victories. Gamsu, though, he would prove to be a huge force that was very difficult for them to deal with later on.
His Hecarim in the top lane. This game, that Jarvan in the top lane we just saw go down to the double kill. Piglet trying to wreck house on Kalista, but you can see where Dig comes back in these fights. And it was the unexpected Lulu.
The knockups into more knockups. Helios flashing in to get it started off. Then Shifter gets a quadra kill.
And here comes Core JJ. Should we keep attacking? Yes. Steal the Penta from Shifter.
Team fight victory, and Dignitas get another win.
Gamsu very, very happy, picking up the MVP for the week as well for Dig. And once the table finally stopped rocking, CLG remained at the top with 7 wins and 1 loss.
Dignitas and TSM jumped over Team Liquid into second place, with Gravity falling back into 4th.
Dignitas tied for second with TSM. That feels like a Season 2 fantasy to me, but not nearly as much as PrimeTime League's Fantasy League of Legends Legendary League. How's that for transitions? Now, there's definitely a lot of action in the league this week as the Dragons finally got on board with their first win against Gordon Hayward. Quickshot's Hair Gel triumphed over Dante Basco's Moose, and Rick Fox handled the Chandler. Now, looking ahead to this week's matchups, Gordon looks for his first win versus Dante. Chandler does the same versus Quickshot. Mark Merrill will face the Dragons, and Rick will be praying that he can beat me. Now, I want you guys to show him what he's up against. Tweet either hashtag Phreak or hashtag FoxWin to @LOL Esports. Help him understand the true power of
Phreak. We're not going to talk about our game. What's up with that?
What, our game?
Yeah.
Oh, the one last week?
Yeah, the one that I won.
The one that you won. Yeah. So you're right, guys. Mark won last week. 4-0, 3-1. I'm still in second place. It's pretty cool.
I don't know about that. I'm just glad I didn't take your advice about Roccat. I think you should actually be a dud this week.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
my work here is done.
It's understandable. It's okay. Thank you very much. You're right. I recommended Rocket. It was a bad choice. Can't win them all, right? Now, besides, everyone remembers the cardinal rule is let the boss win, so I'm still employed, guys. Joining me in the Dud Exile this week, we have the Copenhagen Wolves support Unlimited. We've also, had a really rough time. He played H2K and Fnatic. Big risk there, of course. 0.9 points per game, not great. Also, Rocket jungler Yankos unfortunately helped disprove my theory of a good week for Rocket. Pretty weak for them, 3.8 points per game for him, so I deserve the Dud Exile here. Now, with Mark, I'm done with the Dud step, and I'm going to put myself in Studsville because I did tell everyone to put in Inox and Otter, and they did absolutely great. This is what I call redemption, so I think we're clear here. Now, the other studs were amazing. Gamsu in the top lane for Dignitas was amazing, 78.8 points per game. I actually picked him up 3 days ago. Too late, of course. And now rounding out the top 5 fantasy earners were 4/5 of Counterlogic Gaming. Only Aframu failed to be in the top 5, but support players don't often score that many points, so it's understandable. Either way, obviously some very good players here. Turning into alerts, while TSM might not have replaced Wild Turtle, he could remain on shaky ground. You might want to look and secure a backup. Maybe it's Keith. we'll have to see. Meanwhile, over in Europe, Shook is going to replace Airwalks in the jungle for Copenhagen Wolves. And Nif will be stepping out of the coach shoes and he's going back into the for Elements, replacing Promiscu, so adjust those lineups accordingly. Also, Youngbuck says that he plans on retiring. He will be playing this week, but he will be changing maybe fairly soon. We'll have to see with that one. Then we have Sleepers, who I should mention come with absolutely no guarantees. Obviously, I've gotten some of them wrong. First, let's talk about Haunser, top laner for Gravity. He is the 6th highest scoring top laner of all LCS top laners. Only 17% of you have him in the roster, and he's actually pretty damn incredible. Top 6 means he should be in almost every single league. Also, Move, the jungler of this team. He is the 6th highest jungler. Only 11% of you are starting him. These guys, play him. Like, he's obviously very, very good. If you're running a 6-team or higher league, this guy should be a starter. 40 points each week you guys are giving up by not playing him. Finally, Altec. I know Altec's highly regarded. He's averaging 24 points a game, but only 25% of you are even starting him, which surprised me, actually, that Altec, I feel like, would be started more here. But this guy is, like, top 5 in his role as well. Gravity just as a roster worth a lot of points right here, having a really good split so far. Guys, that does it for the fantasy update this week. Lock in your lineups, and as always, good luck and have fun.
Wow, Phreak as a dud. That might be one of the best graphics we've ever had on this show.
That's nothing that we haven't known for a long time, though.
Anyway, turning from fantasy to reality, let's check out the scene in Korea. First up, CJ Antis needed a win over Najin EM Fire to stay in the top 5. And man, did they try their damnedest in these games. A great game coming out of game 1, where Ambition was able to start things off for the team.
Yep, here he comes. And Coco, would you like a Cassiopeia? Yes, turns around, dodges the ultimate, flash and ghost to pick up the first blood. Beautiful play.
Yeah, it was rinse and repeat pretty much throughout the game. We jump in now to 37 minutes. This fight pretty long, and it was a fantastic fight as well.
Oh yeah, they're able to chase him down. Sivers speed. Shy is going to jump straight in, and he's going to have a lot of attention. This is pretty much all you want to do on Shyvana. Yep. Grab everybody to you, tank up as much as you can, and then get out of there before you die.
Well, the dragon has the most gold, right? That's what she's protecting. Well, no, she's protecting her entire team there. Goong missing his ult again. It was just one of those days for him on Cassie.
Oh yeah, rough for him. Space was able to heal Shy out of this team fight though. Recalls, and he's ready to cut off the last person here. OQ's going to have to go round 2 with the dragon.
Can only do so much. Like you said, teleporting in, it just shows how much control CJ had on the map. They had all the wards in the right spot. TP's up when they needed it. Unnecessary amounts of damage.
That's just game 1 though, Riv. Jump into game 2 here, and we will have a different story up in that top lane. Duke's had enough of your shenanigans.
It is the Duke show. Shy pushing up a little too much here, not respecting the Duke. And it did not end there. This fight, look, Duke just waiting for the back line. Where is it? His team's getting engaged on, but he still makes the right choice.
Oh man, they got the Cassiopeia ult on Shy mid-flight, so he didn't get to do anything. They immediately take him out, and it's Duke who's going 1 versus 3 in the back line, allowing Vayne to clean up the rest of the kills.
Yep, Ambition here. This is almost going to be a deja vu with the next play that comes in. He's in the bot lane trying to keep himself alive, but he goes down. And then Duke in the next play is going to make his life even more miserable. It's a tough game, and Duke's enjoying it right now.
Yeah, good game here for Najin, able to strike back really, really quickly.
Let me go back heal. Can I make another play?
Where do you think you're going there, Ambition? Going back to the fountain, that's where he was headed anyways.
Thank you for that win. What a second game coming out of Najin EM Fire there to take down CJ Antis. And game 3, they would carry that momentum. It was Ambition trying to take Watch's Eve away, but Watch was like, you know what? I feel like playing some Lee Sin.
Oh my goodness. Ding ding, Watch is in. Round number 1, target Shy, and he's not done either. Take a look at this play. Yeah. Because he uses every single mobility spell that Lee Sin has to travel the entire screen and get this kick off.
Right in the face. Taking down Coco immediately, has Ambition in his eyes just after. There's nothing you can do as CJ Antis when you're that disrupted in a team fight from the start.
Stand around and wait for the end to come to you. Comes out of the Zanyas and goes down immediately.
Well, they didn't have to wait very long. Another big thing here for Najin EM Fire was OQ getting that Sivir, allowing the team to continuously push and fight through. He's a powerhouse on that champion, and the rest of the team is playing fantastic. Like we said, watching that carry, boop, here you go, guys.
Oh, man. And the LeBlanc for Goong as well to boot. Happy to be on that assassin again.
Yep, still a very close game at the end, 40 minutes in there. And earlier this morning, SKT took down KT in a 2-0 sweep to keep their perfect match record. So let's check out the current standings in Korea. Of course, SKT sits in full control at the top of the table. Thanks, Baker.
SKT have an 8-point lead over Jin Air. It will definitely be tough for anybody to catch them this split.
Yeah, it's definitely going to. But our own team of hardworking editors have caught up with all the squads and compiled the best plays from around the world for your viewing pleasure.
So sit back and watch the best in-game moments from the last week, or as Doublelift can now call it, the Penta.
Shifting in at number 5, it was Bjergsen shuffling his way to safety.
Missed. That was actually an explosive shot by Altec onto the minion. They can't add too much damage. A nice equalizer over 3 members, but it's not cooking too many. They move off it immediately. Bjergsen on the other side. What? Shifting back over the Shurima slide to safety.
Let's take a look at his drift. Oh, he flashes at the end as well to get the extra distance.
Breezing in at number 4, Yellowstar saves Reckless's life.
Fnatic is behind enemy lines and already they're looking for them.
Well, let's see. Reckless is on Mythi. Amazing's on Huni. Where can Reckless get away? He's been stunned up. Niels is going to be able to get one reply. And Yellowstar keeps him alive. The Monsoon saves Reckless's life. And Yellowstar, with his last drop of mana, secures the disengage.
The aggressive play here from Reckless almost gets caught, but watching the bottom right of your screen, Yellowstar here, shield. And Monsoon knocks Niels back, so that's a displacement crowd control effect. In addition to that, it heals Reckless enough for him to escape.
Coming in at number 3, all the way from the Oceanic Pro League, Legacy Esports Tallywhacker picks up a pentakill.
Yeah, that Warrior enchantment really not helping. And the flash into this Shadow Dashes. Rosie's actually going to try and get some health back here with his ultimate. He's doing a lot of work, actually, but Trashbro going to fall down. Tallywhacker's flashing forward. Triple kill for the Corki as Chilling Smites on Rosie, and everyone piles on. A quadra kill now for Tallywhacker. Rymeister falling down. Is the pentakill going to come through for Legacy as Rymeister's trying to flash? One more pentakill for Tallywhacker, and Legacy, they'll ride that to the game finish.
It wouldn't be a Penta without Godby. His flashy Varus snipe is our number 2 play of the week.
闪现过来，漂亮！我的天，为神！这一波，哇！这个闪现 Q 极限距离取得3杀，真的是帅！哇！
And coming in at number 1, Doublelift picks up the 9-fingered Penta.
Possibly more kills. Doublelift, he got a good bit of distance before the depth charge hit, so no follow-up coming in from Cloud9. That was one of their engages right back onto Lemon. They could be chucked into the inhibitor here if Zion Spartan gets in a good spot. Parallel convergence flash in again for Meteos to try and stun up the team. Balls goes down before being able to put out anything. A possible pentakill here for Doublelift. That's a triple. Meteos is close. Chrono breaks back right in favor of Quadra. There it is. A few more kills for Doublelift on Ash. Is it the last shot? Doublelift gets a pentakill, shutting down Sneaky.
And they shut down Cloud9, take home the victory.
Broken finger, ripped, torn apart, take a few off his hand. He's still gonna come out strong and go crazy. Doublelift going ham, Doublelift getting the pentakill.
And remember, if you see a pro play worthy of appearing in our Penta package, send it to @LOL Esports and slap a hashtag the Penta on it. And now from the biggest plays to the biggest matches, as over the next 5 days, we've got a BF week of BF games. That's first up in an exciting battle for control of first place in Europe. H2K will face Fnatic. A win for H2K will tie them with Fnatic at the top of the table, while a Fnatic victory would tie their own record of 9 consecutive wins in the European LCS. Then, Jin Air will be the next team to try and challenge the undefeated SKT at the top of the standings. That match will also mark the end of the LCK's round 1 for the summer split, as all teams will have faced each other once. And in round 2, they'll do it all over again. And finally, Team Solo Mid will face Counter Logic Gaming for the second time this summer. Bjergsen's boys handed CLG their only loss of the split, and with another win, they could take control over first place. But on the other side of the rift, Doublelift and crew look to prove that they won't wilt this summer and will finally earn their trip to Worlds. And taking out the defending champs is the first step. You can catch the BF week of BF games starting with Fnatic versus H2K Gaming on Thursday, June 25th. Then SKT will take on Jin Air on Saturday, June 27th. And finally, TSM and CLG will hit the Rift on Sunday, June 28th. Set your alarms and mark your calendars because there's a lot of BF heading your way. And what a better way to watch BF games than with your buddies. Viewing parties are happening around the country from Los Angeles to Georgia. To find out how to join them or host your own, just head over to lolesports.com/VP for all the information. Now let's shift to a champion who certainly would like to have a BF game this week, and that's Lucian, or more like Lucian. Am I right? He's off to an 0-14 start throughout the LCS this split, and he's in danger of culling himself. With any luck, this will be his comeback week, and he'll taste victory for the first time this summer. It's hard for a purifier out there. So while Lucian looks for a win, I'd like to thank you for joining us as it's time to close the door on another edition of Mark, what's going on, man?
Riv, dude, just wanted to thank you for joshing me that OP team. Felt great to crush Phreak.
Absolutely. One of the best I've drafted. Glad it's in your hands.
Yeah, dude. And don't forget the last hit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
See you, man.
Before we head out, Cyanide came back to the desk in the European LCS last week, and once again, he brought a little salt with him. Check it out in our last hit.
Getting salty with Cyanide.
That was brutal. It was like watching a boxing match between Muhammad Ali and an armless toddler or something. Like